Recliner Sports Reporters, what the F is up? It is Super Bowl week. Bro, I couldn't be more excited. This has been a grind, okay? When we first started the show, this is over a year ago, okay? Over a year ago, we were just in the middle of like our first Super Bowl. And here we are, a year later, and we went through March Madness, spring training, the summer, which is a God, how do you just get through that? All the craziness of the NFL of the first couple of weeks, and here we are, a year later, back with where we all began, the Super Bowl, and here we are, best bets on this show. We are super pumped. We're gonna give you our best bets on this show. This is Mac, and as with me is Robbie. Keep the Change podcast. Robbie, how we doing, buddy? How is
Uh,
things
Great.
going?
Doing good, man. The sun's been out. Sun's been shining. It's been 50 plus degrees in Ohio these last 2 days. Man, everybody's just walking around smiling, happier. I won't listen to anybody that says seasonal depression isn't a real thing. That sun being out just made the whole town, everybody just come alive again.
It's funny you say that because it's been like 50 degrees in Fort Myers here for the last 3 weeks, and there are some people that are upset and I think have become seasonally depressed.
Man,
Our
I would,
57 is a little different though because the sun ain't been shining. Today was the first time in a long time that the sun's been shining. It's been like a
yeah,
overcast, rainy 57. And I'm like, where the heck have I been? So, that's hilarious. We've just
yeah,
swapping weather out there.
yeah, be cool with that.
Yeah, right. Uh, my guy, it's Super Bowl week, and I know me and Taylor were just on earlier this week with Tank Talk Tapes, and we were talking, and this goes to us too. Two teams that preseason we knew the Chiefs always had a shot, right? During the
Yep.
first half of the season, we knew the 49ers were the best team in the NFC. They did go through a little stint there, though, right? They went through a little stint where, oh man, they're kind of falling apart. Like, what's going on? But then you look back, they had injuries. Okay. And then they came back. And then the Chiefs went through a little bit of like, oh man, the Chiefs aren't really all there. But then the Chiefs came back. And then people want to call Brock Purdy a game manager, which I really do still think that's a compliment. If I'm a quarterback, if you call me a game manager, that great.
Thank you.
Sounds I'm doing my job.
Literally
that
one of the top parts of the job.
you're supposed to be a like that's a quarterback's job is to manage the
Yeah.
game. So I think that's a compliment. And here we are. Super Bowl week, Las Vegas, 49ers, Chiefs. If you go back to the preseason, right? Two top teams in the NFL off the rip.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I mean there's you could put up a case for other teams, right? But like
You can't argue
there's
either of them outside of the top 5, 6 teams in
yeah,
the
there
league.
there this shouldn't be a surprise that they're here.
No,
Um and we should be, I'm hoping, in for one of I think the greatest Super Bowls we're ever going to have to witness here. This is going to be a fun one. So we have tonight and today, whenever you're listening to this, we're going to have. I mean, we're going to go all down the list here with some crazy player props, game props. We're going off. We're going to go off the chain because this is it. This is the Super Bowl. This is the big one. We're not going to be able to bet football here for. I mean, I don't know if UFL. I know The Rock. He just merged XFL. Maybe we'll get into some UFL stuff. I don't know. But we're letting it all hang out here. All right. I mean, come on. This is it. This is the big dog bets. All right. So stay tuned for all these things. But before we get into the player props and all that stuff, let's go into the game breakdown. Let's go into the spread, points, games. Right now, the last I looked at, we're looking at -1.5, +1.5. We're looking at -1.5 for the 49ers. They are the small favorites. And we're looking at 47.5 for the over-under. Robbie, give me your first take on how you think this thing's going to play out just based off of the game, minus the props. Let's go game first. And then after that, we'll go into the props. Robbie, give it to me. What are you thinking here for this game? How do you see this thing playing out?
my prediction, I'm feeling a 21-17 Chiefs victory. So I'm taking the under. I'm taking the Chiefs with the points. And I think Kelsey, who's, of course, the big story with Taylor Swift and all the Swifties that have been brought to the NFL will get in the end zone. And one of my bets that I like the most, it's crazy, it's insane, it's not something that's very likely to happen at all. They're calling it an octopus.
All right, dive
So,
into that. What is that?
octopus is a player scores a touchdown and then right after scores the 2-point conversion on the same drive. If
It doesn't
you
matter
take
what player it is,
it's got to be the same person.
but
to do
you
that.
don't have to dive into what player it is. You just have to. It just has to.
So you can get it plus, I think it was plus 1,500 if you don't pick any player. Just will an octopus happen?
Oh. All right. So
I'll take
why do you think the Chiefs are going to win this one?
So I think the reason that the Chiefs win in this one is one, because like I said last show, I'm not betting against Mahomes, not in the playoffs. And because of their defense. Their defense has been one of the most consistent in the NFL all season long. And their guys show up, their big names show up in big moments. Chris Jones comes through when they need a big play. When that guy, that mammoth of a man, decides he wants to get in the backfield, he's going to. There's no offensive lineman in the NFL that's just going to stop him one-on-one. So that's the reason I think that the Chiefs are going to win this game, is not going to be because of just the high-powered offense that's done it for them in the past. I think the defense is the reason why that they win this year.
Their defense has been a big key to really even keep them relevant this season, especially with the troubles that they've had on offense. You go back to a guy like Chris Jones, and we're not talking about just Chris Jones either. We're talking about Snead, who's probably I still think the best cornerback in football right now. Last week gave up his first touchdown of the season, really, and I don't even know if that was just one of those like lucky plays that happened. It wasn't. It was just you get beat sometimes. But we're talking about guys too who have been here before, right? We're talking about a defense. This isn't like they're putting them together this year and all the right pieces. No, like we're talking about some savvy guys. And like you said, Chris Jones isn't a guy who just, this is his best year. No, he's always been in the conversation as one of the best D linemen in the game. I agree with you. I agree with you 100% with that. They are a scary defense. And again, we're not even talking about an offense that could at any time score from anywhere on the field. Their defense has been the ones. I mean, even against the Ravens game, right? Like their defense is what kept them in that game. Their defense took down and neutralized what is potentially, I don't know if the votes haven't come out yet, but Lamar Jackson had an MVP season. Well, let's be real. Lamar Jackson didn't beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, but up until that, we're talking about MVP season, and they neutralized him, right? Like they put that man and put him in a box and made him look like not an MVP, like a guy who you're like, what is this? What are we watching? So this is a tough defense. This is a scary defense and a tough defense. Go ahead.
So I'm going to go off on a little side tangent on that one, because I don't think Lamar did have an MVP season. A quarterback hasn't won the MVP throwing less than, 25 touchdowns? What do you have, 24 touchdowns, I think, since 2007, 2008. It's been 15 years. He only had 29 total. Did not have, he had a good year. He had a great year. Do I think that he was the best player in football this year? No. I don't know who I really think should get the award as the bad thing, because Dak had a great year.
Yeah, right. And look at him.
Can you really give it to Dak?
Right, exactly. But I'm saying MVP type.
I think this is the year, though, that a non-quarterback should win the award. The most valuable player in football this year, the best all-around start-to-finish football player in the NFL this year.
Say it, please say it.
Run CMC. It was Christian McCaffrey.
Say it, that dude.
He
let's be
was the
real.
best player in football this year.
Let's be real. And look at the playoffs. The dude's had
Yeah,
2 touchdowns in every game in the playoffs.
he just
Um,
continued.
I mean, look, I 100% agree with you with that. But to the point, Lamar Jackson was putting up MVP
Yeah, still.
like numbers, right?
Yeah.
And got neutralized by a very tough defense, which puts the test. Now, if you're the 49ers, how do you win this game? How do you win this game?
I think you gotta, as crazy as this sounds, I think you have to turn it into an up and down the field game. You gotta get the ball moving, and you have to force Mahomes to be the one that beats you and those receivers, and not allow Pacheco. He's been getting, I think, an extra 7-8 carries a game this postseason compared to during the regular season. And he's done a great job, him and that offensive line, of just picking up chunks when they need it. I think that the way they win this game is they got to outscore. Well, they got to outscore them, obviously, but they got to get the score running up. They need to be moving up and down the field. And I think they got to find a way to force Mahomes into a turnover. That's the one downfall sometimes of the greats, that they trust themselves a little bit too much. And when that one opportunity does arise that he tries to slip one in there, got to make sure you come up with a pick.
Yeah, or a fumble, and he's been known to do that too, right? Like
Yep.
carry a little bit longer and not see the
Do a
backside,
little dancing with the ball in his hand, trying to get out of the pocket,
and then convert. When you do get those turnovers, you got to get points from that, and more than 3. You got to, like you said, you got to get points here.
Field goals aren't going to win it.
But here's the thing: if you do play the field goal game, right, I'm gonna put money on the Chiefs, because the Chiefs, they know how to. Harrison Butker, he is lights out and Mr. Clutch. I mean, we're talking about comparison to like Justin Tucker's type clutch. That guy knows these moments. I think you're right. I think you're 100%. And here's the thing too, though, if you're a 49er, if you're on the 49er side, okay, they've shown that they can come back down 17 against, again, the Detroit Lions. I'm not going to say they're the Chiefs, but they are a team that has beat the Chiefs this year. They are a team that is very electric and big. They have big plays. And in that game against them, they had multiple big plays. But their game, they went away from their style of play, which was run the ball, and played right into the hands of the 49ers, allowing the 49ers to get back into play. The Chiefs are known to start games fast. And I don't know if a 17-point lead for the Chiefs is the same as a 17-point lead against the Lions, because that's 2 totally different teams. Andy Reid's it, and I love Dan Campbell, but Andy Reid has been here, right? Like, we're talking about Dan Campbell, who is playing guns at the hip, and Andy Reid's playing chess, right? Like, Andy Reid knows how to deal with a 17-point lead. The 49ers have to keep this thing within a 1-score game. If they start getting into this 2-3 score game, that starts going away from their style of play too. I don't think defensively the 49ers are bad. I think they're great. I think they have a great pass rush. I think they have great. I think they're like a well-rounded team, right? I don't think they're top in the league or the best but they everywhere you're looking at them top 5, and that's going to get you where you are right now. And we're talking about it's a great football team. But they have to keep this thing close. They can't let this thing get away, and they have to put the fire out early for the Chiefs if they want to win. Because I agree with you on this one. My prediction here is the Chiefs win this one. Now, I did just put in a line. I have 2 different exact score bets right now. Okay. One's plus 8,000 and one plus 7,500. Okay. And that is the plus 7,500 is Chiefs 20-23. Okay. The other one is Chiefs 27-24. Okay. Those are exact score bets.
One on the under, one on the over side.
Right. But like right there on just a field goal till just there we go. But my heart's telling me it's going to be more closer to that 24, 21, 20, 23 game. And it's mostly because the Chiefs offense hasn't shown me that they are what they were. All right. They really had multiple chances to lose the game against the Ravens. The Ravens did everything they could to lose that game. And you look at them all season. We've said this before, and you said it at the beginning of the show, what we've been so determined on of why the Chiefs have been great is their offense. Really not the case right now. It's their defense that's been keeping them in there. So that's why my gut's telling me I love that under 47.5 because it's really not their offense that's winning them the football games. It's their defense.
No.
You look at
Andy Reid will burn the clock out too if their defense is winning the game and they don't need to go run down the field, score in 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. And then you look at
love to just keep playing the game.
Yeah, and you look at the other side, the 49ers side, they have had some games where they've put up a bunch of points, but they're also known they have a great run game. And their run game can eat up the clock too. And we know in the NFL, you keep the ball in bounds, the clock starts ticking. You start seeing unders start hitting a little bit more. So for me, I'm liking that under 47.5. Love that. That's a solid bet. It gets scary for me a little bit with this -1.5 because I really do think this is a field goal game. My gut, though, is telling me take the Chiefs as the dogs. Take the Chiefs as the dogs because you're taking Pat Mahomes as the dogs.
Yeah.
You're taking Travis Kelce as a dog. You're taking Isaiah Pacheco as a dog. I mean, whatever the score is, I'm going to put my money. My money's got to go on those guys, right? Like, yeah, you can look at the 49ers side. I don't think that Christian McCaffrey won't have a good game. I think he'll have a great game. I mean, you look at a Chiefs run defense who gave up a crap ton of yards to the Bills, who I don't think had the best run defense. The Ravens put themselves in a position where they couldn't rely on the run, which was crazy to me because if they would have just stuck to the run, they would have had a chance, but they just started trying to make right. You look at the Chiefs when they've struggled, it's what? Against teams that have good run teams. The 49ers are great run teams. But if the Chiefs can be within striking distance, I mean, if Pat Mahomes has the ball to end the game, I think at that point it doesn't matter statistics, throw them out the window. The only statistics that matters is guys who've been there. And
you give me 2 minutes to go, Mahomes with the ball down 5. 80 yards to go, 2 timeouts. I'm taking that every time.
Putting the money on it. Yeah. All right, so that's my pick. So I'm going. I like it too. I like Chiefs in the under. What about you?
Yep. So another one that I saw that I really liked. No, he doesn't get a ton of carries, but Elijah Mitchell's rushing prop over under is only at 4.5.
Oh.
You get that at +110, or excuse me, -110. 4.5 yards for a guy that's super explosive. He gets, I think, honestly, if he gets 2 carries in the game, he breaks one for 5 yards.
I like that.
I like that a lot. Always. Every single game the Niners are playing. Always got to get that anytime for Run CMC. And 2 other little novelty bets that I'm kind of feeling. I'm feeling a tails on the coin toss.
Let's go.
You got tails too? Heck yeah.
Tails never fails, baby. All right.
I'm going to ask you this next one. This was always my mom's favorite. What color Gatorade they dumping on the coach after the game?
Yellow.
I got orange.
Okay. What's orange coming out to?
It's a great question. I have no idea. I couldn't figure out in DraftKings where to bet it yet, but I will figure that out. Or I'll go back to have to throw some money in FanDuel again.
Heck yeah. All right,
or find something else.
here we go. Here are my game props. All right, dial up. Put on your thinking hats here. These are my game props. Okay. All right. These I and these ones I went through the whole game list and I thought to myself, let's look at the game script and like just a regular game. How would this be? Okay, so here we go. Chiefs touchdown in the first quarter plus 115.
Send
Slam
it.
it. All right. 49ers convert a fourth down. Doesn't matter when they convert it. Minus 115. Taking it.
Like it.
Okay. This one gets a little crazy because this one should be a run. But first offensive play, I'm taking a pass at plus money. All right.
All right.
All right. Because the other one is come on, take the plus money on that. All right.
I feel like that comes down to who gets the ball.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Kansas City gets the ball first.
Got a
Mahomes
chance.
is getting the ball.
Got a chance.
The Niners, though, I have a very
It's a run.
strong feeling
It's a
that
run
all
all
of
day.
America knows that
All day.
Christian McCaffrey getting the ball in that first play,
All day.
which
All
would
right.
make a play action perfect. What is it? All right, sorry to interrupt you.
No, keep going.
I want to know what it would be for a first play passing touchdown.
Oh, we're talking about plus 10,000 for sure.
The whole world expecting the Christian McCaffrey run, and cousin Brock hits him with the play action and a deep bomb. Some broken coverage. Get some fireworks early and often.
That's the bet of the century, if you can call that one, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going. Team to use their first timeout, Chiefs. And here's why on this one. Okay.
Reed likes to use them early.
Right. And Pat's gonna see something, he's gonna be like, I don't like it. Hey. That's what I'm feeling. I can just see him. I can see the hand motions right now.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Timeout.
Trying to
Boom.
get over.
Win that one. All right. 2-point conversion attempt plus 145. Take it.
Like
all right,
that.
Right. Just gotta attempt one. Okay.
Well, either team.
All right. Chiefs convert a fourth down minus 130. Took that one too. So we have the Chiefs and the 49ers both convert on a fourth down. Come on. Both these teams love to go for it on fourth down. There's no brainer, especially if you get like across the 50. There's no brainer that they're going to try for one, at least try for one. All right. It's a crazy one. This was a fun one. First team penalized, 49ers. Just taking, I don't know why I'm thinking about like a cheeky offsides or pass interference. Like, I'm just thinking.
Hey, you never know. Debo and Trent Williams like to get into stuff before the game. There might be a penalty before the game even starts.
Right? I'm feeling it. I'm going with you on the coin toss, tails. Let's go. Honestly, that's my biggest prop bet I have right now. I'm going off early and often. That's what I'm going for. And then I told you my exact scores, but okay, first touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And me and Taylor were talking about this week, and he went after it, and I said, "Oh my God, that's actually a brilliant idea." And here's what I'm saying: is Pacheco gets him down there. Needs a little bit of breather because he runs so hard.
Yeah.
And then there's a swing pass.
Edwards-Helaire just steals it.
Swing pass to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's going off at plus 2,700 right now for a first touchdown.
Man, that would be awesome.
But do you see it when you're seeing it? Like, because how many times have we seen Pacheco get down there, but it says, hey, he needs a breather just naturally because he just carried the load. Swing pass.
They get down in the red zone, all eyes are on Kelsey, and you got Pacheco just sliding out of the backfield.
Boom.
And
then I have, these are two crazy ones. My last two, like bigger crazy ones, but anytime touchdowns. Okay. These guys are going to get forgotten about. And I think, like we were just talking about with the red zone, all eyes are going to be on Pacheco and Kelsey. I think MVS gets an anytime touchdown, and I think Rashee Rice gets an anytime touchdown.
Both of them. Ooh, I like it.
Right? Like, because who when we get in the red zone, who's all eyes on?
Travis Kelsey.
Right.
But who is Mahomes going to want to throw the ball to? And who's going to stop Travis?
Darius Toney. That is the guy we need to be putting money on. Wide receiver 1.
Can you bet on a drop pass?
Wide receiver 1, Kadarius Toney. And I have a couple other player prop bets, but go ahead. What are some other ones you're thinking of?
Yeah, another one that I liked, Kittle's receiving lines at 49.5.
Like that too. I have that.
I'm feeling every time I would look at it, I'm thinking running backs and tight ends in this game. I'm thinking that it's going to be a big day for Pacheco, Christian McCaffrey, Kelsey, and Kittle. Just both these quarterbacks like to use the middle of the field, and these are two of the top 5 receiver or receiving tight ends in the league. I'm thinking that they're both going to get their fair share of catches, and Kelsey's line's getting up there a little bit. I think the last time I saw it was like 79.5. I'm probably going to stay away from it at that, but I might throw a couple parlays together where I take them for 50 yards. I feel like that's a safe number.
I like that a lot too. You're not wrong on that. For me, I'm liking Purdy over on his yards.
Yep.
I like Mahomes over on his yards. And I like McCaffrey over on rushing. I like Pacheco over on rushing. Like those ones. And then I love that Kittle on receptions. I love McCaffrey on his receptions.
Mm-hmm.
I love Debo on his receptions. And I love Kelsey on his receptions. Those are like, again, manageable. We're not talking touchdowns or anything like that. Like, we're talking about just game flow, the way the game flows. Yeah. The like you said, those are targets that I think when you look at the guys and who's gotten them there, to me, that feels like it adds up.
Mm-hmm. There's always, it seems like every year, there's that one guy. Didn't do anything all year long. Steps up in the Super Bowl and makes a name for himself.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to the 84 Bears, right? It was Walter Payton didn't score a touchdown, right? Yeah. It was everyone else on the teams, and then their blowout. And then there was that whole thing. I just got done watching the 84 Bears on ESPN about how he was upset in the locker room after they won a Super Bowl. But it's like, sometimes when you think about that, it's like everyone knew Walter Payton was going to get the ball. I mean, it's like you think about that. It's like the Super Bowl. You got to key in on the best players. So it's those who are the second, third guys. That's the lines you got to be looking at.
Another fun fact I want to throw out there, non-Super Bowl related, but I just saw this and it popped in my head. Saw somebody posted that the very first player ever to win Heisman Trophy, Rookie of the Year, and Pro Bowl MVP is now Baker Mayfield.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I didn't fact check it, so there's a chance that that's not 100% true. But I saw like 2 different posts about it earlier today when I was sitting at work, and I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Well, if there was a guy who deserves it, is definitely Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. He's gonna get paid in Tampa this year.
We're looking at like what, at least 40 million plus a year, right?
Yeah. And he earned it.
He did. I mean, we always say, the Browns, it's just one of those things that just didn't work out. But I always felt like if he would have just stayed with Cleveland, I mean, that was your guy. All right, buddy. Well, any other final thoughts on the Super Bowl? Any other final bets or picks?
Man, I was gonna say be a fun drinking game if you took a drink, did a shot every time that they showed Taylor Swift.
Oh,
but I think I want to see see the end of the game. So I don't know if I'm gonna be doing that myself, but that'd be a fun one.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
back in
would
college I could hang with that, but getting a little old now.
you would definitely I feel like you'd be blacked out by that time.
Yeah, you wouldn't even see the halftime show.
No, 100%. Um, yeah, that's actually like, yeah, you want to get blacked out drunk? Bet
Do a shot every
on,
time they show T Swift.
yeah, that would 100%. That's, yeah, you're not going to see the fourth quarter if that's the case. No, that's not even, yeah, that's how people go to the hospital if you play that drinking.
uh,
All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, best of luck to all of you on your best this weekend. This is it. This is the big show. I mean,
Go ahead.
yeah, if there's a reason to put some money down this weekend, it's because you're not going to be able to be betting football for another. What is this? We're in what? First,
I just spent
March,
I guess
April,
50 bucks.
May, June, July,
Got some
August.
squares today.
Yeah, you got 7 months till you're going to be able to do this again, man. That's a half a year. I mean, unless you really feel like you're the Notre Dame of baseball and hockey here, and I get we got March Madness coming up. I mean, it'll feed the itch to scratch for a while, but that's only March. I mean, come on. Football's
Football's the
where it's
most
at.
fun sport.
That's it. That's it. That's where it's at. That's
Yeah.
why we love it. That's why we get out of bed in the morning. Good luck to everyone. Best of luck to you. We love you all. We support you all. Thank you for supporting us. And please remember, whatever you do, keep the change.